Hello, my friends, and welcome back to The Nest. I'm Kate. It's a sunny afternoon, and thank you for joining me. I hope you're well, excited about something that's about to happen to you soon, because it's always to have. It's great to have something to look forward to. I've had a busy week, which I've delighted in because it means that I'm feeling much better and have energy. I've been making, and this afternoon, I thought I won't stitch. I will actually take you through a bit of eye candy. Because the one good thing about being sick was that I didn't go out of my house, which is lovely, and I could nest and I could rearrange things. And I could also come across some treasures that I haven't shown you yet. So I thought I'd just take you through some new things in my nest. And it's been a while, so I don't know when some of, yeah, just let's say it's a little retrospective. So I'm into beads at the moment, big time, and little tiny things that I can add to my work as treasures. So I know many of you love daisies as much as me, and this is a little beaded shell. It must have been a button originally, but it hasn't got anything on the back except, oh, it's got fishing line. So I could probably get a needle under that, but that's going to set the tone for, oh, there's my little crystal bowl with some lace and pink. So there we are. We're just going to make a story out of this. And some of the items I think you'll be quite surprised at, and I'm hoping curious. So this is something that I don't know what it is, but it's made of layer and layer of beads that have been strung together, and it's quite long. It's still going, and at the end it has like a pom-pom of beads on both ends, and on this side, which makes me wonder, was there one there, is this is like a blossom or a shell, or this is sequined. So I'm thinking it was a belt. It's probably long enough to go round and tie and dangle down, or if not, a necklace. But talk about access to beads and dangles and beautiful treasures. So part of this story is that my exciting week culminated with me publishing. So we called it a different word, but I can't remember what that was. My website is live. So I've been in the background working on, a website, because people go, we can't find you. And part of this next step of our community and our relationship is I'd like you to know more about my story. So thank you for all your nice comments wherever you are finding me. But on that website, and I'll link that below, there is an invitation to subscribe. I can't believe I'm saying this. Subscribe to my newsletter. When I worked in education, I made newsletters a lot to talk to a community. So it's not something new for me, but it makes me smile. And I think it will be much more joyous to talk to you, you lovely people in this creative and kind community. And I've got great plans for that. So if you're interested in hearing more regularly from me with something that you can read easily, skim through, and I'm going to embed links to stories, not just stitchy stories, but stories that I'm fascinated with, influences, as in what's influencing me at the moment. And I'm going to invite you to share your influences. We might do some book reviews, who knows? But that's Kate in the Nest getting carried away. So I want you to be part of it, because I'm very enthused and I've been encouraged again to do that. So thank you to all those who encourage me to take these new steps in this next chapter. Okay, in front of me is something unusual. This is a pile of crockery and it's brand new. So instead of a thrift store, I saw something online and I went to my physical store and I fell in love. So this is like a living crockery flower, and look at this. Just for beauty's sake, there is a plate with a daisy on it that I could very quickly put some treasures on. Of course, I'll have to make room for it, but in a way that just makes me smile. So there's my big plate. It's textured, it has scallops, it's everything tactile and physical and modern. I know, very inexpensive, but I felt, you know, sometimes if you see something and it calls to you. So that's the base of my flower, and here on top are other parts of this same collection. Look at these sweet little dishes. Tiny, tiny. And my plan is to decant, and let's do some of that fun now, some of my beads, because I'm learning a lot about my beading. I can't keep everything the same colour, but how about this? These ones have got big holes in them. And look, I've got the centre of my flower. And what if I wanted, I could put some gold in there with them and mix, or a different sort of pink, etc. Can you see? Getting carried away. And what if I just laid that in? See, weekend afternoon, all about fun. So there we are. That's a little flower within a flower. Very Kate. So they had 3 of those. They were all they had, so I bought them because I can see that I'll have, and they're perfect. Remember I had that little, I showed you that I'd found that. I love it, but for my pink and gold beads, it wasn't quite right. So blues and greens will go on there, but these ones, I'm mainly using at the moment pinks, of course I am, and golds and pearlies. So there's going to be one for each of those, and they can stack up, and I actually think that's very joyful. They had only one of this in the bigger size. I don't know what I'll put in that, but is that a dahlia? I don't know, but it's got a very textural bottom. Look, it's looking like a homeware show. But it's joy. So there we are. I made a flower in the shop. And I'll put my flower back together now. And that's the end of my crockery. Okay, so I'm going to move that to the side. I'm actually going to put it on the floor because the nest has to be tidied. Okay, as I said, I've been gradually collecting things, and one of them was this set of Suffolk puffs or yo-yos that are beautiful pastel colours, and this came from, I invested in this for my workshops that are coming up from Doll's House Vintage in the UK. So I want those who are making in my courses to have access to beautiful vintage pieces, and everyone gets some things that are the same. So I've got another, some other things, but I just thought, again, isn't that beautiful eye candy? I hope I've asked you. Oh, I'm just checking in and wondering what you're doing, because my voice gets more excited the more I talk to you. Okay, these are all over the place. They're random, but I'm just going to match the colours. This is, so, you know, when you go thrifting or shopping, I'm gradually changing it to say thrifting so we all know what it's about. I'm looking in different places, and look at that for an enamelled old brooch, which would sit so beautifully on our work. I've moved everything around. What have I got? Sorry, I'm going back to my dilly. Is it the dilly bag? My drawstring bag that I began right at the beginning of the Roxy projects. And see, I just now long to do more and add more things that I didn't have at the beginning of my collection. I was using a lot more blue then, wasn't I? Beautiful. Oh gosh, that's a bit strong. But it is how I made it. Okay, so that's that. What else have I got? So it's not going to be a long one. Okay. I went looking for a bag. I don't know whether I showed you this, but I grew up with my mum having little purses made out of needlepoint, and I think we just called them Tapestry. I'm not sure. And now I'm much more interested in how to name things properly and pay tribute to them. But this was in earlier in the year. I found this. Apologies, I've already shown you it before, but that makes my heart sing. It's beautifully kept inside. It's black satin, and I'm thinking of adorning this in some way. And if not, I'll just keep other little small pieces of tapestry. I don't particularly like that chain because I think it's silver. Maybe it's been worn away with age, and it's only on one side. So my heart says take that off and make it like a clutch. But it does remind me of Fleur's beautiful bags. I don't know what I'll do with that, but anyway, just love it. I've been playing with purses since I was born. We were laughing about that every photo. Okay, so let's leave colour for a minute and go to my forever love of crochet. On my website, I talk about crocheting, and it was should I say the first? Probably was. My grandmother taught me to crochet when I was 7. And it's been the one consistent thing I've done all the way through. I stopped embroidering and stitching and machine making my clothes and all those sorts of things, and I watched my mum quilt, but I have always crocheted and knitted to some extent till I left school. But I now adore collecting pieces of other makers crochet, and this one appeals again with sharing in mind because it is the individual motifs, and each one of them has texture, and they pop out. So I should have, no, that'll be another video. You know my work, but I've got Michelle's beautiful, Michelle, you might remember, sent me some swan fabric, and she had this beautiful snip. Look, I can just see a work just coming together just right now. This is what, get your treasures and trinkets out. But just the addition with vintage fabrics. Oh, I just got another idea. Thank you, Michelle. How about this, everyone, as a thoughtful present for someone who's starting out on slow stitching or a just because gift? Michelle has collected the edging of multiple doilies, and it's like a sampler of the edges and a celebration. At the same time, I think she's machine stitched them together. I'll link her Instagram. It's just beautiful work, but it's just inspired me. You know, again, every morsel is a treasure anyway, so let's leave that like that and that and that. So again, with collecting for physical workshops and pieces of work, keep your eyes open, because 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 little individual items that are absolutely beautiful. Okay, so we're in the natural colours. Am I talking too fast? I'm just playing. Do you do this? I just play in between stitching. Okay, this next set is I'm in love with, because it's combining. I don't know whether I've shown you or not. And here we go again. Oh my gosh. It's combining my two, and it's not my only two loves, you know that, but how about that as a love fest of crochet that has then been beaded. It's a treasure for all time. And if I had that one thing in my collection, I'm already dreaming of making an incredible bag where that would be the base of it, and then I'd grow things up layer by layer. Oh, that's so keeping it intact and whole. So if that was a standalone piece, I better just check I've got it in the middle, and I'll show you up close. If that was just it, that would be enough. My cup would be full. But not only is there that oval one, there's this one, which features 1, 2, see, it's, as Kelly has been teaching me, odd numbers, and I've always loved odd numbers, but that's 5 rows of tiny seed beads. Have a look. And then triangles. And if that wasn't enough, there's another one. So oval. Can you imagine your dressing table or a beautiful piece of furniture in your house? That one and this one, and then the baby one. Oh, it makes my heart sing. Absolutely. I think there's only one baby one. Or if there are two, I've buried it. There's probably another one. Have a look. It's just incredible awe thinking of the maker of this set. So there we go. I hope you love that, even if you are not a crocheter, but we all appreciate beauty, and that is treasure beyond. Okay, what next? Starting to look more and more at the costume jewellery, even at earrings. And again, as a dangle. We're not doing the pouch challenge at the moment, but you know, that dangling down at a closure level, or even going on, even on something like this, amongst other things. So it just all goes together. Okay, I've got just a few things more. They're sort of larger and different. Okay, story of the week was I had to get my car registered, so that in Australia means you sent your rego papers, or they're online in some cloud, and you have to take your car in if it's old to get physically inspected, and if it passes you get a pink slip. So I had to take mine in, I think on Tuesday, and I walked down the street. They said half an hour, and I walked down the street to our local antique vintage store. And it's called Dirty Jane's, and it's quite well known in our area, and people make day trips down from the city. And I spied two things that I loved, and one of them was this. And it is a vintage Chinese hat. And you know why I loved it. Number one, that. Number two, these are flowers that I'm thinking, I don't know, were they embroidered all over? Look, but the leaf work is so incredibly fine detail, and they're all the way around. So again, I'm dreaming of a piece that I'm going to make that will have embody and celebrate this piece. Look at those colors and this lovely mixture of the black. That's, again, I'm trying to work out what's been worn and what's been embroidered, but I think it's worn, because look at that. Textile. Or it just might sit in my studio beside me for quite a long time as I treasure and study it. So, but third thing, you ready? As textile lovers, look at this as the inside. Just down the street, 5 minutes away from the mechanic in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales, Australia, I stumbled across this. It's got worn holes, the crisscrossing of the pattern. It just makes me curious. And I just adore it. So, but the story is, this was here in Dirty Jane's, as well as another piece, which I will show you last. And I was strong. I thought, no, you are getting your car registered. You are not here to shop. So just leave it be. So I left it, and I did not purchase anything. My car successfully passed, and I thought, that's it. I'm not going back to that store, and that piece will stay. Well, or it might have already have gone by now. So that was end of story. So that's to be continued, because the other thing I wanted to show you that I got earlier in the year is, because, you know, I'm working on I've got two workables and little pieces with lace and trims and frills. So that's why I'm segueing hat to baby's dress. You've seen me use the pink one a lot. This one is in, obviously you can tell it's in white. I'm thinking of tea staining this, or again putting different parts in different colours, so again we can have access to it when we do our workshops. It's been starched and starched, but I suppose just new eyes. It's absolutely glorious, but as I look at that, it can be shared with so many others. Little, it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous, and my favourite, pin tucking and this amazing lace. So it's still got marks, but so that's a little baby's dress. I'm now got a little bit of a collection of those. So from baby's dress to earlier in the year, I came across this dress, and it was not at op shop prices as you look at it. I think you'll appreciate that. But again, I felt that it was just an investment and a celebration. I mean, when I say investment, it's not off the out of the scale. It's still within reach. But the work, and it takes me back to my mum's flower girls. I've grown up looking at the pictures. My mum was in white, and she had bridesmaids in this sort of dress, and one was pink, and one was blue, and one was lemon, and I think one was green. Very much. What year would she have been married in then? Not sure. I'll have to do the maths on that. But yeah, so this is a dress. That's the bodice, the collar, and the work goes all the way around. And then at the bottom, oh my gosh, look how many flowers. Just exquisite. So some of you might have tried embroidering, thread painting these, or just using this sort of fabric on top of something else. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've just got it now, and it's been hanging. I've actually have it hanging in my wardrobe in my room, and she'll probably stay there for quite a long while, but just wanted you to share my joy. Just glorious. Okay, I'm nearly there. I hope you're still with me. And I've always said these are, I love watching others share what they've bought. I'm absolutely hooked. I don't feel jealous. I just love sharing in the joy. Okay, so here we go. This is the big reveal. And you'll have to tell me what you think. So at the same place, Sturdy Jane's in our local town, my eye was drawn by something this colour. Now, you know how much I love satin and velvet. So I saw on a rack this, and I just thought, oh, I've just got to feel that. And are you ready? I'm going to take you through what happened to me. Then I saw this. I thought, look at that. That's like a binding, an edging with a frill. And if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that nothing excites me more than having a dramatic little curtain. So my fingers were in joy, and I'm just going to spare you. I'm going to do a big yank here. Oh, because, it's so heavy. Absolute lusciousness. It is the tag said 1950s bedspread. And it's a double. It's got one corner is really damaged, and there are signs of wear, and it's not perfect in any way, but for me it is perfect. That's why on Tuesday I had to be so, look at that, that's an artwork. On Tuesday I was so strong, mainly because I thought it's heavy, Kate, and you haven't got a car, and what if your car doesn't pass and you can't get it home? But so the clincher of the story is, this is why things are always meant to be, totally unexpected. Yesterday afternoon, my husband found that he had a flat tire in his car, and he asked me to watch over it while it had its tire changed. And I asked the same lady at the mechanic how long, and she said half an hour. So guess where Kate went? 5-minute walk up the same little lane into Dirty Jane's, holding my breath. First I saw my little hat was still there, and then I saw this was there. And I thought, twice in the 1 week when I haven't been in for months and months. I think you'll probably get bored of me stroking it, so just let me show you why I thought it was a match. Anyway, it was there. So was my hat. And here is just some of that new Appleton's cotton that I bought during the week. And I just said, okay, that's meant to be. So I have not only all that padded, I've got this frill in satin that goes all the way around. So Kate in the nest couldn't be happier. We have beads, we have both modern and new treasures, we have textiles that bear absolute joy. Oh, what if I do this? That bring joy. Okay. If nothing else, I hope that's made you smile, and I wish you a wonderful weekend. I'll be back soon because I have lots of things to share, and I'll link my website together down below and the name of those shops and places. No obligation, just part of sharing the joy. See you next time. Bye.